left your perfume on the pillow and your whispers in the air. Got your face stuck in the mirror and I keep finding your hair. Got a big box in my closet with the fall pictures we took. Oh, and I keep finding dog ears that you left in my books. Miss your hate, can I just crash over? Guess you crashed in like a tsunami. Woke up next to you so hungover. Sunlight painted stripes on your body. I'd give anything that I have for just another one of your nights. You can have an arm and a leg, but just a minute more of your time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a little something new that I decided to start here over on the Tsunami channel. It might be a little different for some of you that have been here before, but if you're new here, welcome. And those of you who have been here before, welcome to the new Tsunami production TV channel. I'm joined here tonight with Zeph. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about yourself, King?
Doing great. Well, for our inaugural match, we have it's Locally Hated versus SportsBetExpert, and I think you've got some a little bit of an insight here for us.
Yes, I do. Just to give a little bit of a background for both teams, we're going to start with SportsBetExpert. Last season, they went 13-1 and opened 9-10, and actually ended up winning the entire division. And of course, that one map they did lose. I think they had a stand-in for that. But besides the point, with that 13-1, and then just not talking about the entirety of playoffs, their stats are very heavily inflated. You know, out of the 5 maps they played, 4 of them they have 100% win rate on them, and the one that they did lose was Ancient. But even then, they played it 5 times, have an 80% win rate on it. Bringing up some vitality numbers, if I'm being honest. Meanwhile, Locally Hated, they were in advance last season. They finished the season 9-5, and honestly, pretty good regular season, but unfortunately weren't able to do much in playoffs, dropping 0-2. And with that, they also had 5 maps totally played. They have a bit of a map overlap with SportsBet. You know, they have Dust 2, they've got Anubis and Mirage in there too. The one highlight I do want to say about them is they played Nuke 7 times and only won it twice. That would be a bit of a concern coming into this. Although SportsBet haven't really played Nuke last season, so I'd imagine, you know, if I'm Locally Hated, I don't think they've even touched Nuke. I have to worry about that whatsoever. But actually, it looks like it's going to be Mirage, so I actually called it before the broadcast even started.
Right. Yeah, I was just about to say, we were talking a little bit about what we expected from this match, and you were bang on and called it Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get a little bit more in-depth, for Mirage, the specific stats for SportsBet, their CT side is clearly their more dominant side. They have an 82% round win rate on their T side, Meanwhile, on their CT, it's a 50%. About average, I would say. And on the other side of the board, Locally Hated are 2-4 with Mirage, a 50% win rate. T side is their strongest suit as well, a 52% win rate. CT, a 43%. So both teams can really capitalize on the opponent's CT side. But it's just really going to come down to these duels and whether or not these sites are going to be able to be held.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much Mirage to a T. It is going to come down to how you're going to defend, especially here in North America, against those puggy playstyles that you're going to face against the T side. Hopefully we see a little bit more structured than just, you know, a normal pug. But, you know, given some of the players that are on both of these teams, I do expect a little bit of a puggish style coming out. And I know you talked about a little bit about these teams, but there are a couple of different players than you might have seen on different rosters previously. You have Evan Kaw, who was previously on, I forgot what their team, LFO.
I think it was, LFO 4 or something.
Yeah, they were in ECL, so him falling back to advance for this season, and then you have Trojan, who was previously coaching IGL of the old lag roster when they had Experative on it, and then Experative took a step back, and I think that's when Trojan came into IGL. But there's a handful of players here that I actually haven't ever heard of. You've got Pete 187, Glue Eater, and so I'm hopeful that this will be a good game. But you never know with a couple of different what's it called? We don't have there's a couple of unknowns that are going to be in this game.
Yeah, and speaking of unknowns, Pete 187 for SportsBet, he actually has not played with this roster at all. Keep in mind, of course, this roster was just built last season. He just didn't happen to be playing that season, so whether or not whatever Pete's able to show in the server, that's a complete unknown to us at the moment. Hopefully he can come out with a bang, with this opening match for this season ESEA. Standout performer for SportsBet, it would just have to be between Evan Call and Trojan. Trojan, HLTV rating of a 1.64, an astounding 97 ADR last season, followed with Evan Call at 1.37 and 90 ADR. I mean, that's absurd. If we're being real here. Meanwhile,
it's out there. It's up there. It's up there for sure.
One could dream of picking up those numbers for ESEA. And then meanwhile, on Locally Hated, the only one I'm not too familiar with is Amoki. He didn't really appear on the roster at all last season. So I'm guessing this is just a new addition to the roster. Again, not really much I can really say about him. Hopefully, he comes out with a bang as well.
Yeah, I mean, one can only hope. It is only the first match of the season, so there's going to be a lot of things that, we don't know a lot of things other than what has happened last season. And so as the season goes on further and further, we're just going to know more about these teams and be able to gather more information as teams are going to do with other teams. And so, yeah, I'm excited because this is going to be a good match. At least on paper, it looks like it's going to be a good match. And I certainly am not. I'm hoping it's not going to be a stomp, and so hopefully it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. There's a chance it could be a stomp, but then again, like I said previously, SportsBet's numbers are very inflated since they played in a division they should not be in. Quite frankly, they are well above the open 9-10 range. So it's kind of really hard to tell. Meanwhile, with Locally Hated, we kind of get a more basis of an understanding for how they perform in advanced. And 9-5 in advanced last season, that's very respectable. Not like just above middle of the pack, which even that is a feat in itself. My question is just going to be how they're going to implement Amoki into this roster and try and maybe keep that success they had the previous season, and even if not surpass the success they had last season, and maybe bring some of those map stats up, especially on Nuke. But overall, with it being Mirage, I do have to say anything's possible. A little bit of lore drop. I was casting with Primal, the Omen Esports guys, before they were known as Omen, back when they were in the team called Milked, and we casted their journey to qualifying for Advanced, and they ended up, I forget the exact team, but they went up against an ECL stack, and it was Mirage, and it was like a map decider, and it's like on paper, Milk were outgunned, outmanned in like every facet possible, but then like won the map like 13-10. So yeah. I feel like if there is a chance for a miracle, it just would be on Mirage, if anything.
Yeah, we're either in for a stomp or a slugfest. There's no in between. It's there simply cannot be an in between on a map like Mirage. It's just such a well-known map at this point by 95% of competitive players, and the remaining 5 are the ones that ban it instantly because they don't want to go against teams that could potentially upset them.
Oh yeah, I've heard a couple advanced players say a thing or two about banning Mirage and not wanting to even touch it, both in pugs and in league matches, just because of how aim heavy, I guess
Right.
it is. And with that in mind, Mirage being that one of the longest standing maps in the entirety of Counter-Strike to not be removed, not really changed whatsoever. I mean, outside of the bench being added in bottom mid right in front of window, I mean, outside of that, there's really nothing new about the map. So all the pre-aims have been kind of like set in stone, like everyone knows it. Although basically that map has been put through the ringer. There's not really a lot more new meta stuff you can create on the map. But who knows? I mean, maybe we see some brand new meta breaking stuff from these two teams tonight. I mean, who knows?
Right. I mean, from what I've been able to, or from previous games that I've seen, is that a lot of teams are now starting to. There's a lot more AXX. There's a lot more A splits than ever before. A lot of teams don't even touch the B site on their entire T side, and especially in pugs, I feel like that is 90% of the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if anything, the most recent meta defining moment I've seen on Mirage, I know Vitality, what they've started doing recently is they like to lean like a heavy mid default and have two lurkers, like one towards A, and then they, instead of having like one guy just solo towards B, they have him go underpass, try and crunch that mid pressure, and then just go off from there. I know that sounds like pretty standard Counter-Strike, which I guess it really is. But when it comes to how Vitality do it, they have like the nade lineups and everything set specifically for these lurk players to get into these good spots, to find those opening frags, which a lot of these teams don't do. And I imagine now with the start of the new ESEA season, after watching with all these teams, I would imagine if they want to get better, hopefully watching those sort of demos, especially with how dominant Vitality has been, maybe taking a strat or two out of the playbook and implementing it into their style of the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, folks, at this point, we're just kind of waiting for the server to pop or for us to be able to get into the server. I think that ESEA is kind of having an issue right now. I feel a couple of people I feel like have mentioned already tonight that they haven't been able to get servers, and so
I think it might be because Counter-Strike did do the update. They closed Premiere for Season 2, so I'm wondering if that might have a factor into it at all. I'm going to look now and see if any of the other matches are ahead.
It was a 1 megabit update, so I really hope it didn't just completely screw the game.
So it does. I'm looking at another team's page right now. It does look like they're having the same problem trying to find the servers.
Oh, okay. All right.
What did it? Oh, okay, it works. All right.
We finally got a server.
I stand corrected. Okay.
We just had to, complain a little bit, and it gave it to us,
Yeah. I could call better timing than that. Oh, honestly, my goodness. But yeah, again, we're getting locally hated versus SportsBetExpert. Interesting name that is. Going head to head here on Mirage. If I'm being honest, I think even without the inflated numbers, I think SportsBetExpert might take it, in my opinion. But I'm not fully expecting a blowout whatsoever.
Right. There's just only so much you can take from the previous season being an open 9-10 to now being an advanced. There's only so much you can, kind of use to be able to predict what this match is going to be looking like. But and then over on the other side of things, we've got a couple of veterans over that have been in advance for multiple seasons. So yeah. Outside of the two on SportsBet and Evan and Trojan, I mean, the others are kind of unknown for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, outside of outside of really Evan Caw and Trojan, again, I'm not really too familiar with the other players, unfortunately, but I do know just based off of reading their stats and how they really played last season, kind of who I kind of gauge an idea of like who is probably going to be more of that heavy hitter on the roster. And I think the player we're definitely gonna have to look out for SportsBet. My personal opinion, I feel like saying Evan Caw or Trojan is gonna be a little too easy. So I kind of want to go ahead and take Glue Eater because he's got a 1.35 and 85 ADR from last season. I feel like he's kind of like that third guy that's like reliable. You know, how do I put this? Like comparing to Tier 1, I want to say he's kind of like in that 2019 Liquid lineup. He's probably like that NAF. You know, like, not necessarily like the star player, but he's like that reliable like middleman. Yeah, like most consistent. And meanwhile, for locally hated, I think I would have to go ahead and say probably Saber. He's probably the guy you want to look out for. I mean, he's leading the pack for them from last season, 1.05 HLTV and 77 ADR. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams go head to head, especially on the.
I was going to throw a little shade and just say it's the complete opposite of who NAF is right now.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the broadcast started. By the way, how Liquid lost to Sashi. Oh, dude, I didn't even know they were playing today. I just got the text
I didn't
from
either.
Jeff. I saw the tweet from Jeff, and I go, "Are we serious? Like, we're losing the." Like, don't get me wrong, Sashi's got some like known names on their roster, but like, Liquid, come on, man, what's going on? You can't be losing to them. And reportedly, they were in a LAN cafe in Denmark somewhere. I'm not too sure, but that's
Is it Liquid?
No, Sashi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
the wild.
Meanwhile, you have Liquid in this multi-million-dollar station. Just come on.
They're doing their best 1v1 $1 million challenge.
Oh my gosh. And getting 13-8 on Nuke and then 13-6 on Inferno. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god, Liquid, lock in. Please, I'm begging.
You know, I think most of NA was kind of hoping for a change going into that offseason, and we saw none of it. And, you know, there wasn't really any changes in Tier 1 other than, you know, JL getting benched. And I didn't watch his YouTube video, but actually I do need to.
Well, I did see the headline he said he got interviewed today on HLTV Confirmed. He did say that if he said, and I quote, "If we won the Austin Major, I just would have retired." Which honestly for him, go for it, man. Like that would have been the most insane major
at that point,
in a while.
you already have one major. If you won that one, you would have won the second in contention to get MVP again. And that's literally what Kirby did, except he didn't retire. He just gave up playing.
Made one of the worst roster moves in modern CS history, probably. It's a North of all teams. Oh, okay. To be fair, North was like the one team that could compete against Astralis. I feel like outside of Liquid. There was that like one random DreamHack event where like MSL, Op IGL had the MVP and North like destroyed them 2-0 in the grand final, which I don't understand that. But back on that NAF thing, I just wanted to quickly touch on that before this game starts. If anyone has kept up with the Tier 1 scene, there was an interview that came out with NAF just after their bomb out at the Major that said something along the lines of how with the addition of Shuhei on the roster, it seems like all the players don't really want to be that sacrificial lamb per se. And with Shuhei's type of calling, Shuhei doesn't necessarily call for like twists or nerds or NAF or anything. He calls for himself and whatnot. And while I'm not blaming the entirety of Liquid's fallacies on Shuhei, because obviously this has been happening before Shuhei was even in the roster, I do think that if you have twists and nerds on your team, dude, you should not be trying to put yourself in better situations. You should be supporting them, giving them the entries, like anything, really. And then you have a player like NAF, who was one of the best North American anchors in modern-day Counter-Strike. I just I don't know. What do I know? I've made ESEA main and that was it. So what do I know?
Well, I mean, I think that was one of the reasons why Shuhei didn't work on Mao's at the time, as because they needed less of a entry pack IGL, and then they finally signed a support player or a lurker, and then now you're having the same issues kind of on Liquid, where you have 2-3 aggressive rifles, but you have the one passive rifle in NAF who it hasn't been able to put up numbers, and so that's kind of their biggest issue right now. I would say is that they're very pack focused, and that's probably what's kind of is gonna have to be an adjustment for some of the players on the rest of the team.
Absolutely, yeah, and I mean, one can only just hope from then on, Liquid do improve. I'm hoping, I've been saying this for the last, oh god, I don't even know how long, since like 2020. It's just a little bump in the road, but at this point, I'm not feeling it's just a little bump, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean, is there a fix for Liquid? Like, I feel like I don't even know where to begin, if I'm being quite honest. I really don't.
Well, so I think the biggest fall, or the thing that they should have done initially when they did sign Shuhei was not getting rid of JKS, because that kind of threw a lot of things off balance within the team. Because you replaced a passive player with an aggressive pack player, and that's just not gonna go well.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet there were discussions in the Liquid camp as well about maybe taking NAF out of the roster and bringing JKS back, but I think they'd lose their North American VRS slot.
They would have, but I think even then, like it would have been in the same ish scenario. Yeah, JKS is maybe gonna perform better, but they're still gonna have the same overall team issues, in that it's not balanced enough. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of got to be your biggest fix, is trying to rebalance the team.
I made this joke the other day as well with how the current state of Tier 1 is. If you're FaZe, like I'm a FaZe fan and a Liquid fan, but if you're FaZe, when Rain's on his way out, you get Twist, put him in Rain spots, let the man cook, right?
Yeah.
Simple. Contract expires in October, brother.
Yeah,
Just in time for the major. Get Simple in there. FaZe has Kerrigan.
Yeah,
Twist,
I don't think it'll I don't think they'll sign Simple until the next player break.
You don't think so?
Nah, it's they're not gonna. It seems it doesn't seem good to do it mid-season, unless Brokey just plays terribly again.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I know more recently Simple as well. He's been grinding like 9 pugs a day. Let's face it. And I mean, there was a clip the other day that went fairly viral on Reddit that he destroyed Kyosuke, Nico, and Monosi and got an ace against them. Which, good for him, but I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see.
And as far as this game, is going, we sidetracked a little bit, but I think we're finally ready to get into this game. The teams just finished knife round, and we're gonna get straight into this.
And it's gonna be Mirage. This is a best of one, match 1 for the new ESEA season advanced. We've got Mirage and we've got SportsBetExpert versus Locally Hated. SportsBet are going to start on the east side.
And we've got a tech pause.
And what a way to start.
What a way to start the season, right? We finally get through everything, and knife round is done, and we get a tech pause.
And I do think as well, I hopped in the server briefly for a second while they were doing the knife round, and I do believe that locally hated have a coach present. I wasn't able to get the name though. I think it was a J.
It was
If I'm
Arrow,
not
yeah.
mistaken. It was Arrow. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. I'm very off. Yeah, pistol round just about to get underway. We've got locally hated on the CT side, SportsBet on the T side. And SportsBet, well, this is just their best side, 82% win rate, 2 for 2 on Mirage from last season. And so far, we're going to see a 3B setup on the CT side from locally hated. SportsBet are just going to take that mid control for free. Evan Call's going to get a bit aggressive towards this cap spot. Mara's going to hear him jumping around, though, making all this noise. And Glue Eater is going to try and make some noise as well over towards A. Gunfire being exchanged as bomb is being brought towards that A site. Zera and Ethex doubling up in CT. Zera just going to bait with those dualies. Taken, they're not going to look away, and Zera's going to fumble. Oh, he gets recovered. Ethex finds 2 in the head, and Glue Eater in a 1-on-5 with the P250. We've seen Zywoo do this before, but is Glue Eater the next Zywoo? We'll see. Finds 1. Not able to find a second, and locally hated, find their first. My goodness.
Fellas, SportsBet, we have to be clearing those angles in CT. We have to. I mean, your teammate threw it in the flash for you to clear the angle, and you don't clear it, and then you get two-pieced. But it was an interesting setup. Locally hated brought, very passive on both sides of things, fully giving up mid, and SportsBet kind of just fell into the trap of them playing passive. They tried to do some aggression after the post plant, but that just didn't work out, and thus locally hated got that pistol.
Yeah, but they did get the bomb plant at least, so they are going to be able to buy back into this. A little bit more passive, but this is going to be an A site hit with Sergeant Bax throwing these smokes underway now. Moki's going to be under this house area, and the running headshot from Hash with the Tech 9. Zera gets the trade, though. Brings back to a 4-on-4, and these long-range FAMASs are just doing the Lords of work. The Saber's going to take down Trojan. Bax again with the Tech 9, and Glue Eater's going to find Murray as well. That's going to make things a bit dicey here for locally hated Tex and Zera. Looking for this potential retake, but it's been slowed down a lot. SportsBet aren't going to take any risks. They're going to wait for locally hated to make a mistake here.
Well, the bomb in T-ramp as well.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for a potential flank, and Zera just might have missed the timing on the Glue Eater. He's peeking out, trying to get that information, trying to figure out where they're at. And yeah, I mean, this is a 2-on-3 man advantage for SportsBet, but I mean, this is just dicey as hell for them. Flash underway. They're trying to isolate a kill, but Ethex is like CT, but Bax again! The headshot for him on the Ethex. It is Zera in a 1-on-3 to try and save this round for locally hated and break the economy for SportsBet. Yeah, the timing for the smoke here, playing around it, looking for the potential. Evan Call's going to be hiding in that ninja area. I don't think Zera's going to check this at all. That's going to be... no! Unfortunate for them as SportsBet find the return round.
Just a death ball, all 5 going out A ramp. The trades were good, especially from getting that trade back from the Palace guy, and then just as a team going into CT. I do like that they paused and kind of took a breath, let the CTs try and make a mistake, and that is exactly what happened with Ethex getting picked off there in CT, and that. There oftentimes you say that winning the second round is definitely better than winning the pistol round, and you look at the CT's economy now, and you look at the T's economy, and that's definitely the case here.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just kind of cooked. I mean, they did do a force buy at least, so they're gonna have some heavy upgrade pistols, but the dink on the Glue Eater. Counter-Strike might become a bit of a pistol, but Maru might have the timing, and he gets one! Not able to get a second, though. His B-side defense just crumbles. Closest person is Saber with that Desert Eagle Blaze. Find something, but these smokes are just going to deny any sort of opening for this retake. And again, SportsBet, they are taking their time bringing this bomb over to this bomb site, as Trojan's going to be walking all the way from Underpass back towards Apps. And that's a great opening for Saber to maybe get this round back into their hands, but Sergeant Hash in onto the guys in a market, is able to find a Moki, and going through the smoke is Zera, and Saber gets a hit onto him. This retake is under pressure, and there goes Trojan. It is just Evan Khan, the 1-on-2, 1-on-1 now. Zera 19 HP, and that Galil certainly will win them the round for SportsBet. Evan Khan is so is Zera, and not able to find it. Evan Khan saves the day for SportsBet, and that's going to be number 2 for them.
The tried, true, and trusted Evan Khan to save the day. You know, that was the fantastic eco there coming out from locally hated. You had Saber with a couple of 1-digs there. Maru with a really good push up underpass, able to, you know, stall out that the bomb from going out onto the B site, allowing the players to rotate in time just a little bit. And, you know, I feel like if he didn't have 19 HP there at the end, that could have definitely gone the other way for locally hated.
Maybe a half fly. Looks like a couple pistols. Created. All the AK set up. Under pressure. Under pressure indeed. As Saber again going to find one off the bat. And SportsBet already on the back foot. But it is just going to be Etex alone on this B bomb site. It's going to be put under pressure here, and he only has a USB to his name. But Maru is there as well to help save the day, and Saber again is going to find another kill onto Trojan. This round has been very costly for SportsBet. If they haven't had a clean round at all this game, and Maru finds it under hash. It is just Evan Call, the man we talked about earlier in this game, again in a 1-on-3.
Now 3 AKs in the hands of locally hated. This was just a couple of upgraded pistols here for locally hated, and now Evan Call in a 1-on-3 gets the first. Down to 2 players left for locally hated. You have 22 HP left on Maru. Both players here in the bench area. That nade is going to do a lot of damage. Zera now down to 29 HP. Evan Cod doesn't know where he is, though.
There's no way he expects Zera to be here as well. I honestly thought that nade was going to kill the both of them. I think he checks bench and he doesn't. Zera, locally hated, able to answer back. I mean, this has just been force buy after force buy from both teams, and it's just worked.
I mean, that wasn't even a force buy coming out from locally hated. That was a couple of upgraded pistols. Maru had a 5.7. I think there was another 5.7 on the board, maybe a deagle. And I'm not even sure where the kills all came in. But, yeah, the pistols doing God's work there for them.
Here we go. Somewhat of a mixed buy round from SportsBet. They have the Hero AK on hash. A little bit more passive towards middle. And one has to wonder if what's going on in the mind of these teams here. I mean, you're just buying Tech 9s, Deagles, 5.7s, and yet you're winning the round against these full rifle buys. I mean, that's definitely got to be a bit of a mood killer on either team, for being honest.
I think both teams are saying, guys, can we do this on a rifle round now, please?
Honestly. But here we go. We do have the... It looked like there was going to be a silent boost in the window, but looks like they've canceled that. In play is the name breaks the smoke. Saber's not able to find anyone, though. Gets tagged down to 62. Connector's being fought for control, and I think Sergeant Hatch has actually found an opening. And Evan Call finds the eagle on the Saber. Amoki put under pressure and taken out as well. Sergeant Hatch runs out of ammo. Zara is able to run for his life, but only gets one. The retake is on now. Mario Nethex trying to do something, but Trojan's going to be in the window, and he is going to hear that they're both going to be in CT. That's going to alert his two teammates, and they're going to be able to play a bit more back. Molly cuts off CT. And if I'm Sergeant Bags, you just want to kind of jiggle here. Don't take a fight. Let Glue Eater take the first opening fight here. Got it planted for ramp. That's all you really need to do. And the Ethix in a 3 MP9, only able to find one. In SportsBet, again, I mean, the team that has the worst buy out of the two is able to win the round.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how both of these teams keep getting away with winning an eco round. Evan Call with a wonderful 1-dig coming out of ramp, and then just the AK coming upstairs, dropping in the sandwich, getting the second kill. It's a little bit chaotic, I think, once the rounds once the executes are coming in. And you know, anything is happening during that execute. So I think for both of these teams, we kind of just have to start playing a little smarter, start playing a little bit more passive once we get these opening picks, and then go from there.
Yeah, and here we go. How funny would it be if Locally Hated won this round?
I would laugh hysterically.
Hero, A1S, and an MP9 and a Dream.
This is pretty much the same exact buy that SportsBet had in the previous round, minus the MP9 that Ethex has.
Yeah, and well, MP9 needs a little bit of a nerf, and Ethex able to find one, and I mean, that just proves my point right there. Running headshot on the backs. This B site, he's being hit though. Sergeant Hash is able to make this present error. He might catch off Zero off guard, but they're not going to be able to swing on time, but he will find the frag though. Meanwhile, these frag tracks go back in the favor of SportsBet. Maru alone on this bomb site, but he does have Saber close by in apps. That's going to stall out this B hit. I don't know where bomb is though. I'm not sure if one of them has it. Okay, it is in ladder. Trojan could just take this and run over towards A. I mean, Evan Call does have the rotate. And he should be aware and should hear Maru any second now running through market.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Evan Cloud doesn't stay here to kind of take a deeper angle into market, but Maru is aware that Evan Call could be taking the deeper angle here and is going to evade him. Saber now with the AK, both players for the CTs now on rifles.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both going CT. Evan Call might get caught off guard a little bit here. I imagine that was planted front triple, which it is, so he is at least in a good post plant. Trojan's tucked all the way in ramp. The tap on the defuse makes himself known. The jump down, Maru should know Evan Call is going to be down towards connector now. They should just stick any second now. Evan Call able to take down Maru, and Saber with not a kick to his name gets taken out as well. And there we go. Finally, a stabilized round. And SportsBet will take their fourth.
Yeah, and finally a round that isn't won by the eco from either of the teams. A rifle round in which the team, or a round in which the rifles finally win. I do apologize for anyone in chat. I did forget to turn off the music, and so we're good now. All right. I'm normally more focused on those sort of things when I'm just a producer, but I'm also casting here tonight, and I'm not a caster.
Honestly, you've done a pretty good job casting. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate.
You were telling me before the broadcast you were like not gonna be too great, but I haven't heard anything bad. You've made some pretty valid points.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And unfortunately, these pistols are just gonna get punished. Trojan and backs can find one respectively. Ethex, that him hidden there was not gonna work out.
I thought Ethex there might be able to get one, but Evan Claw on a quick swivel, able to turn his head around quick and get him.
Yeah, he's leading the pack right now, 10-3 to his name, and I'm pretty sure he's just had out of the 7 rounds they've played so far. I think maybe like 4 of them have been multi-kill rounds for them.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that was the player to watch that we had mentioned at the start of the stream, and he's definitely living up to the name that we've heard previously in ECL and advanced seasons, and so it's great to see that he's still staying in the same form, and hopefully he can get some more support from the rest of his teammates, and hopefully Locally Hated here is finally able to get the op out on Saber, is able to finally win a rifle round.
Yeah, and him being posted up in apps this early into the round, I mean, that gives some freedom towards Ethex, who's able to kind of rotate back over towards this A site. I do like a Moki spot, playing that aggressive top balk position. It does give them a lot of info, especially is able to help Maru play a little bit towards mid if they really wanted to. But as I say that, Moki's just going to get wide swung by Glue Eater. Zara gets the trade, though. He's able to shut down that A aggression. And the call should be made at this point that there is one more, potentially 2, on that A site, smoke towards A main. And it looks like SportsBet might try and do a silent boost up towards window, try and cut off any sort of rotate, but Maru's going to be rotated over already. It is just Saber over towards Catwalk. He is going to get ticked by that molly. And with Hash now in that jungle area. Oh, but look at Terra. He's buried himself inside Palace. The double swing in CT is possible. This might get a bit dicey for SportsBet as they're going to get crunched. Really underway. Ethex is going to spot Axe over. Yeah. Saber going down to Hash from window. That's the op gone, and that's going to give Hash the freedom to maybe try and go on the flank here, put pressure on these two CT members. And Evan Call just destroying, quite frankly, if I'm being honest. And that's going to be a 6 now for SportsBet. This CT side is starting to run away from locally hated.
I mean, SportsBet there did a really great job of, getting that util out to cut off any CT interruption of that plant, and then they were still able to keep that deep post in jungle. And they somehow knew that there was a player in Palace, and getting that front triple plant was great for them, and it just worked out that those post plants were really great.
Yeah, and the aggressive deagle in mid. Oh, Evan Caw. Okay, that was Trojan that caught that. I was about to lose my mind if he just got both of them with 2 bullets. And I'm not barely a minute 30. It's already a 2v5, and Emoki, these deagles are singing loud and proud as he finds the head of Evan Caw and finally shuts him down. Glue Eater with 2 to close out the round. That's 7 now for SportsBet. Really grinding out these rounds and getting this lead.
And I mean, we mentioned in the pre-show how even Mirage is as far as CT versus T. It's pretty much a good half for both sides if you're 6-6. And now if you're SportsBet and you already have 7, you're already off to a great start for the second half. You're proving that you're calling better, your aim is better, and I think you just got to keep that going. We do get a tactical pause coming out from SportsBet. I'm not sure what they could really talk things over. Things are going pretty well for them right now. Potentially discussing what the buy is going to be coming out here from locally hated. But we do get Saber out with the op again. Let's see if he's able to do anything this time around. He wasn't able to get anything done in the previous time.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to get put into a good position here. Maybe get an opening. Start a comeback, per se, for locally hated. He's going to be playing in mid-window. Tries to block the window smoke, but even it failing, I mean, he's not really going to find anything in middle. This is just going to be, it looks like a standard A execute from SportsBet. I mean, they've got all 5 towards that A ramp at Palace area, and it is just Amoki here by himself. Haven't called tag down to 46, though. These counter nades are going to go aggressive. Trying to go through the smoke, but Sergeant Hatch is going to be ready for it. Finds the kill onto Zera. Maurer with the trade. Bomb down now. It's a 4-on-4 retake, and these nades, this extra utility is going to be deadly. Oh, and Amoki gets the frag on the back to lift a spray earlier in the round, and this is potential for an opening here for locally hated to get themselves back into this half. Maru looking to potentially go in and just go for the ninja. Oh, he taps instead. Puts that pressure down. I like that. Maru gets taken down, but Saber is going to take down Trojan. Hold on just a second. The frags only go in the favor of SportsBet. And it is Saber and Glue Eater who's going to play in the smoke. Try to play one-on-one. Saber's going to find the kill, but not the round. Oh, and he's going to... I think he loses the op, too.
He's close. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
No, I really like the call that SportsBet pulled out there for just a standard A execute. All half, they've been going out mid defaults. And finally, they took a pause. They discussed what to do for an A exec, I'm assuming. And, it didn't work out the greatest. There was a couple of missed pieces of util there. But the trades were there, and the post plant, after the post plant, the trades were there as well. And so... in the end, you got the heroics from Evan Caw coming out of Palace, getting a 2-piece, and that's really what won them the round there.
Yeah, and double picking the unattached potential round changer, but Saber had a chance to take down Hash. Oh my God, Hash! Okay, brother, gets the running. I don't even know how to describe the hell what that just was. I mean, my God, Tex is there to get the trade. See, I don't know if it's just you, but it seems like this game has just been filled with like running headshots.
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
2-1-3. A site for the taking. Bomb planted. Gleater.
Boy.
I'm going to flash for Trojan, but he's not going to need it. Ethex with a chance. 2 players are low. Finds one on a Trojan. Maybe a spare bullet could go in the favor of backs. The molly does come out, but it gets extinguished from that smoke grenade. If there's any hope of locally hated coming back into this half, I mean, it's got to come from Ethex here. Now, looks for one once out of ammo. Glue Eater able to get the headshot onto him. That's 9 now for SportsBet. An incredible T half for them so far. 9 rounds for them with their 90% win rate on T side.
Yeah, I mean, that was just very clean. You had, who was it in apartments? Sergeant Hash getting the 2 kills. You know, probably didn't think there was a third that's going to be sitting in apps pushed up, and just with his knife out gets killed by Ethex. But yeah, after that it was pretty simple there for SportsBet. Getting a little dicey towards the end with one player being low and then the other almost dying at the hands of I forgot who it was at the end there, but close round nonetheless.
Absolutely. And with the final round of the half underway, I mean, locally hated, they're going to be hoping, praying for a third, and that's not a good start for it as Evan Call finds Maru. It's just the CT side, it just feels like it's just collapsed, and Saber's going to be in a 1-on-3 now, trying to do something, but I mean, this bomb is going to be running towards B as Sergeant Hash is able to clear this site and say, hey guys, it's wide open. Actually, bomb's going to be brought up towards A, but it doesn't matter. Blue Eater's right there to finish the round for them, and that's a 10-2 half for SportsBet.
Yeah, it was a great idea coming out there from locally hated to just try and to counter their mid default with a flash, but it was just the wrong person that was throwing the flash. You had the person coming out of ladder room throwing a flash for the 2 people coming out of connector. The person who was in ladder dies while throwing the flash. I mean, you have 2 other players who are on the extremities who could easily throw one of those flashes to repop in the mid, and you know that was kind of the start of the downfall. You have one loss in ladder, and then the connector players both dying sequentially.
Yeah, and there we go. Not a start you want if you're locally hated. Backs just taps out Mara. Trojan tap. Oh my god, they're just tapping them out one by one by one. And they're not even able to get on the site. It's already I don't even know what to say, dude. They're 5 bullets, 5 kills.
And I mean, we talked about this before the game again. Another thing we talked about was or at least I did, was that you on a map like Mirage, it's either going to be a slugfest or it's going to be a stomp, and we're getting exactly that here from SportsBet.
You don't believe in the comeback? The 11-2 comeback.
You know, I would have if they had one pistol. If they had one pistol, they would have been in a good spot. I mean, they still could win this force by, and it could put them in a good spot still. But they really needed to win that pistol to force any chance of a comeback.
This is true. And that's really the start you want. And again, a man advantage again gets taken away from SportsBet. Hold on just a moment as... Oh, never mind. Gleader's going to find Maru. And these 2 guys are making themselves very well known in the server tonight, and a little bit of banter going back and forth. Finally, Glue Eater gets taken down from under balcony. And it is just Sergeant Bax in a 1-on-2, and I mean, again, locally hated, they're going to need something. They need this round, or else it's going to be map point for SportsBet. And there's Ethex getting taken down. Zera now in a 1-on-1, trying to save the day, tries to take the fight. Not sure if I agree with that, if I'm going to be honest. Low HP, but I guess, hey, you're down 11-2. Got to take the risk.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Ethex there pushed up in the jungle. Didn't hear Sergeant Bax jump in the window there. But nonetheless, Sergeant Bax with a 1v2. And now on to match point.
Yeah, 12-2 lead for SportsBetExpert. And I know going into this, I was like a little hesitant saying this was going to be a blowout just because SportsBet's their stats have been inflated because they did play open 9 and 10 and ended up winning the whole league last season. But I mean, this maybe you know what? I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. But we do get the final buy, and Zera gets taken down low, but 2 entries for locally hit, and one of them gets traded back by Zera. And Evan call again, and this just collapsed really fast. And Ethix alone 1-on-2, hoping to save the day, not able to do it. That's going to be 13-2 for Sportsbet Expert, and unfortunately, locally hated. Not much to see in the server tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. You had Evan Cog finishing the game there at 19-10. You had the rest of the team still kind of you had them in the double digits, and so they were all doing well. As far as locally Haiti goes, definitely gonna need to go back to the drawing board, come up with a couple of ways to, defend that mid default that keeps coming out from Sportsbet. That's going to be a common thing that you're going to see throughout any Mirage map is going to be that mid default. And they had the idea for the one round to, repop into it, but it just didn't work out. Just needs to coordinate better. And I think you're not in a bad spot here locally hated. I think you just got to get a couple more practice runs in on Mirage. You could have definitely made that a little bit more competitive, but Sportsbet by far the clear winner here.
Yeah, and I have to say I do think the MVP in the game just has to be Evan Call. I mean, the dude dropped 122 ADR. I mean, you can't really argue with that. And even an honorable mention, I would have to say, in my eyes, Trojan as well. I mean, 102 ADR for him, but he had some very impactful rounds as well. Not much really I can say for locally hated. I mean, again, this is my first real impression of them as a roster. I do think that they can learn from this, watch this demo, and really just kind of see how their CT side was kind of just picked apart one by one. And then, of course, we didn't really get to see much of their T side, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the first map of the season. If I'm them, I don't take it too harshly.
Right. We got a long season to go, guys. We got plenty of matches to go. If you're locally hated here, you take that one on the chin and you look forward to the next game. We've got a lot of events coming up this season too. A lot more open qualifiers that are happening in North America than I've seen in quite a long time. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of these open qualifiers. And it's a good place for a lot of teams to just get practice against different opponents than what you're normally used to, and play in more of a tournament setting, and playing back to back if you make it run. And so, yeah, if you're one of these advanced teams that is looking to continue growing, playing these open qualifiers, it's only going to get you better.
Absolutely. I mean, that's very well said. And I think for a team like locally hated, they are a team I fully expect to be making advanced playoffs this season. And I would not be surprised if one way or another they do end up going against Sportsbet again in playoffs. So this is a good eye opener, in my opinion, to say, hey, this is a team we're going to be facing in playoffs, if not later in the season. Teams of this skill level, this is how we should kind of maybe go about countering these things, maybe fix some of these issues that we've had, and just go from there. Really, I think there is quite a bit of potential. I think we have yet to see from locally hated.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can really say about this match, is just look forward to the next ones. But I think that's going to do it all from us tonight. I want to give a quick shout out to Platt here, who is observing. Thank you very much. And Zeph, thank you for joining me here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
A lot. You won't typically see me here on these casts. You'll see me more behind the scenes, doing the production. But I'm really looking forward to what this production team can do. It was an idea that kind of I thought of it a couple months ago, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can build. I'm really looking forward for bringing in new casters into the scene, such as Zeph. I know you've been casted in the past, but you're still getting your feet wet here and there, and he did a great job tonight. And so I think it's going to put a lot of people. It's going to put a lot of people out there, and that is my main goal. And so thank you to everyone who stopped by to watch the stream tonight. And thank you to Sportsbet for pushing the promotion out there, shouting us out. it helps me a lot for sure. And yeah, that's gonna do it.
Have a great night, everybody.
Oh no, I called you plenty, are you